Okay, so this video is about the bees that we caught this spring. Since we moved to the property, we randomly always talk about, like, oh, it would be fun to do this, oh, it would be fun to have that, oh, wouldn't it be cool if, and bees was one of those things that I was like, oh, it'd be great if we had bees, because then we would have, you know, our own factory right here for the garden and for the orchard and even for the honey factor, because we use a lot of honey. That's our sweetener for a lot of things. So most of the swarms came through and landed in this lilac bush. There was 5 swarms that came through. So our first one that came through, we had no idea what it was. The kids had seen, you know, this weird moving, like something was moving in the tree. We thought it was just like, oh, is it just a chicken roosting up there or something? But then they kept insisting that it was not. It was like made noise and it was buzzing and it sounds like bees, and we're like, what? So we come out and check it out. Sure enough, it's this massive thing of bees, and we had no idea what it was. We didn't know what a swarm even was. So we were like, oh my gosh, what do we do? Okay, so we found this awesome phenomenon. It's bees in the lilac bush. There was nothing there previously. The last couple of days, the kids noticed it yesterday. What do we do with it? Do we just leave it alone? Or is it dangerous? It's really cool. So I posted just a little clip of it and asked, like, on social media, and said, what is this? What do we do? Is it dangerous? What do we, you know, anybody? Lo and behold, I totally forgot that we have a friend, Cameron, who is a beekeeper. And so our friend contacted him. He called me like 30 seconds after I posted it and was like, hey, she told me that you guys have bees, a swarm. We're like, yeah. So he was at work. He couldn't come until later that evening to come pick it up. By the time he got here, it was already gone. So that was a huge bummer, and I was like, oh Lord, please bring some more bees. That was so cool, because he was saying, yeah, you can totally catch it and put it in a hive, and then you would have bees. You wouldn't have to order them online or anything like that. So I was like, oh, cool. So then a couple days later, Cameron calls and says, hey, there's a house out here, you know, a couple miles down. They found a swarm of bees and they don't want it. Do you guys want it? Yes, please bring the bees. So he went down, got the swarm, and he brought it up to our place. Apparently it was a very big swarm, and much bigger than the first one that we had seen. So another swarm showed up, and Cameron caught it, and he's putting it in there. I don't know if you can hear it, or if you can see them. They're flying everywhere. You can see them there on the lid right there. It's crazy. There's tons of them. Oh, you can see them. Do you see those little things? Those are all the bees. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully we got the queen in there. He said it looks like they're bearding, which means they're all collecting on it because they smell the queen inside, which is a good thing because we want them to find home in there. He brought his bee boxes because we didn't have anything to even start a hive. So he brought all of his equipment. He brought it down and set it up, and then he took that swarm and started to set it up. While he was setting it up, another swarm came into this lilac bush right here, and the kids were like, there's another one, there's another one. He was like, what? So he finished putting the other one in, came up here, grabbed the other swarm and took it down, and we set up another box.
Just like that. Just like that.
Ah, get out there.
This is Cameron. He just knocked the swarm.
Oh, I gotta get a stinger out.
Why are you shaking it?
Get them all down in the bottom.
Oh.
He's putting the second swarm in.
Oh my goodness.
Just seeing if I can see the queen real quick, but
Is she noticeably larger?
yeah, it's quite a bit.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Is that so cool?
Yeah, it's so cool that they don't sting him when he's so close to them and he traps them. So
I think
that he doesn't sting him on the hand.
Put your glove on, right?
So at this point we have 2 hives happening. Then we had another swarm come through, but they were way, let's see if you can see it. They were way up there. So we could hear it, but there was no way we would be able to get it unless we had a boom lift or something. So that one was there for a couple of days and then it disappeared. We're like, oh, bummer, I wish we could have got another one. And then the next day, you guys, the next day, another swarm came through. So he called Cameron, Cameron, there's another one, what do we do? And he's like, well, do you want to catch it? And we're like, yes, we want to catch it. So he came over and got that one and put it out. Seems like you would just cut the branch and take the branch.
Sometimes you kind of have to, depending on what's going on around it, but
Are you looking for the queen?
yeah, just make sure.
So I'm just checking out the bees over here. We noticed that
They're like very swarmy.
they're very swarmy. And but check this out. Check this out. There's the first one, which is the smallest. That's active, but check out these. You see all that bearding of those bees? Wow, these bees are active. Goodness.
So we actually have 3 hives doing really well. All right, so this happened in May when the first swarm came through, very beginning of May. 2 months later, it's July. Cameron said, hey, you know, he's been checking on the bees and he said, hey, they're doing really well. They need more room. So we ordered some bee boxes. We decided to be creative and we let the kids painted them all white and the kids were able to decorate them however they wanted to. So you can watch that video here if you want. Super fun, super cute. So we ordered those, we got them set up. He came to swap them out and stack them up to give the bees some more room to build because they were thriving and doing really well. When he was putting more of the boxes onto the hives, one of the boxes didn't have any frames in it, and so the bees had just started building in there. There was a whole honeycomb along the wall of this box, and he couldn't put it back in there without a frame. Otherwise, he said, they'll just build and it'll become, you know, a mess, and it's really hard to harvest the honey if you don't have a frame in there. So he took that one off and put a fresh new box with frames in it. So from that box, we got to harvest that one rogue honeycomb that had been built on the side of the box, which was so amazing.
So here we are, and here's some of the, man, this whole thing is packed with honey. But check this out. Cameron's gonna get me just a little scoop, scoop of the wax and honey.
Or a big one.
Whoa, that's a big one.
Yep.
That's a big one. Let's just take all of
The
it.
whole thing.
This thing is like a mouthful of honey. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Oh my goodness.
It's like you just drank it.
Oh. And then you just, I'll show you when I'm done. The wax, and then you just toss it out. Or, you don't use it after you chew on it for candles, but, oh, whoa.
So we started out with the first hive had 2 boxes because it was a huge swarm. The second box had 1 box to start, and so after we put our new boxes that we had just ordered, after we put those on, now we had, the largest one had 3 boxes just in 2 months. The largest one has 3 boxes. The second one had 3 boxes in 2 months. And then the last one had 2 boxes because it was doing really well also. So then a month after that, he came and checked and said, hey, they're almost full. Like, we need to get a couple more boxes on there. So we ordered more boxes. We painted them. The kids got to get paint a few things on there. They enjoyed that. But while we were painting the boxes outside, Colorado has been on fire for a long time. And the day that we were painting, the wind had picked up, and so there was like ash and smoke blowing everywhere. So we had to move the boxes inside to paint, which was a little bit harder, but it was still fun. We got it done. And then he was gonna put those boxes on, and then we got weather saying that we were gonna have a giant snowstorm, and this is like September 4th or something, like ridiculously early for snow in Colorado. So he's like, I'm not gonna put the boxes on yet because I don't want to try to move them, and if the cold weather comes in, I don't want to disturb what they already have going. So he didn't put the boxes on that day. We waited till after the snowstorm, which was weirdly crazy, but it was great for the fires. So then after the snowstorm and it warmed up, the next couple of days was back to the 80s. Weird. He came in, put the bee boxes on.
All right, so back by popular demand is our very own BBC. Bee Buddy Cameron.
Okay.
And he's gonna be working on rotating out some boxes because the hives are doing really well. He said, or at least he says the boxes are doing really well. And so we need to add, we're gonna end up with 4 over there, 4 over there, 4 over there.
So you have to take all of them apart?
Yep. To get to the bottom one.
Oh, you can't just like pick it up and put one underneath?
Nope.
That would be way too easy, right? So he has to kind of rotate them out to put the fresh ones in and put new frames and all that so that they can build from their pattern that they build from. I don't remember if it's from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top.
Hey Cameron, how's it going?
Good. My workout. I should have done this sooner.
Cameron
It's a little
just
cooler.
Cameron just lifted this purple box, this purple flower box, off and onto here, and he said it's really heavy. I said, why? Is that because of honey? He said, yes. That, my friends, that's what we want to see. To the keen observer, you may notice that I have gloves and a head covering on before we started this time. Yeah, good idea.
Oh, tons.
So what's the plan here, Cameron? What are we doing?
So we're going to take this bottom super off, exchange it for one of the ones that are finished, and so we don't want to put new frames in the bottom. Actually, we most certainly can. It'll be a lot easier. Oh, but we're not going to keep this super on here. We're going to move it. So we've got to remove all the frames from here. Yeah, and put them into one of the finished bee boxes.
So these frames here, these 10 frames, are gonna go from there into one of these new boxes that we just painted recently.
Yeah.
Ordered and painted.
Right there. That's so when they're in there collecting the nectar to make the honey with, they collect all the pollen off of the flowers too.
And that's what those orange things are?
And those are little sacks of pollen right there that they bring back and they store in the hive as well, because part of their food isn't just honey, it's honey mixed with pollen.
Yeah.
Pollen has a ton of nutrients. So
Those
they
little
eat that.
orange sacks, is that what you were talking about?
Yep.
You like touch it?
Yeah,
you gotta
go
ask
ahead.
him.
Just be gentle.
Be
slow,
careful.
And if they sting you, realize you were asking for it.
Wow,
Can't be
Emmett's
mad.
being an adventurer here.
Good job.
How does that taste, Emmett?
Okay. He's smiling. You should see this angle.
Are they full?
Oh yeah.
Full hives equals future honey.
You just have to stick it right in the honey. Good stuff.
Toby, want to stick your finger in the honey? No.
Really?
There was one chasing me. I was working on this and I had a yellow shirt on. And it followed me all the way to the house. I waited like 10 minutes, came back out, then it came and found me again.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you had angry.
I think it took like 2 days for the bees at the gate last time to leave me alone. It was not comfortable. Wow. So Cameron teaches us, if you might remember, that the stuff that holds those boxes together and fills all the gaps is called propolis, right?
Correct.
Propolis.
How many do you think is in there? 200 pounds?
Yeah.
Making stuff
We are. Thank you.
Oh, so you have to take the blue frames and put them in that one?
Yep.
Could you go grab my muffins for me?
You, Emmett, you are brave. Standing right there.
You're brave until it gets hit.
They can sense though if you're not scared, right?
Yeah, the pheromones you let off, I'm pretty sure. It always seems like the people that are the most nervous are the ones that get stung first.
These
Except for
flock
the guy
to 'em.
that's dumb enough to get in here.
So we have a couple friends, we won't name them, but they would be putting off all kinds of nervousness, right,
Oh, yeah.
Cameron?
Yeah, they'd probably get us all stung with their nervousness.
Emmett's here with his flip-flops. Calm as a what? Calm as a stick?
Cucumber?
Calm as a cucumber.
Is that the saying? I don't know. I might have just made
Yeah, which is weird.
Because cucumbers do not get stung by bees.
that. Well, that's
They
true.
look like they
At least I've never heard of it. Wow. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see this?
So I get this behind
This
between
is...
here, and I leverage it.
If it lands on me and I don't do anything, I'm still staying.
There's a possibility here.
I don't know if you guys can
But
see
if you
this.
don't do
There's
anything,
just
it's left.
bees
It's just
all over.
Alright, yep.
Emmett's out. So Cameron's separating the frames so that he can withdraw them.
First
This
one's
is
always the
fascinating.
hardest.
Especially for all you people like me who've never seen this kind of stuff in your life. This is fascinating. This is where honey comes from. Oh my goodness. Do you see that, people? Do you see that? That whole dark spot, that's honey.
Oh man, they're going to town on my gloves. They're upset right now, buddy. You don't want to probably be right here, okay? Don't swat it. Don't swat it.
Wow. So will you put them back in the same order?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear this chorus of bees, but it's...
There. Yeah.
I'm gonna be backing up now. I'll check in with you guys in a little while. Yep, getting a little bit nervous. Yep. Alright, Cameron was just talking about how he thinks this is their brood chamber, this bottom blue super. He said a lot of this is what?
Eggs and larvae.
Not
See
honey.
how it's not honey. See right there in the corner, there's some honey right there. See how it's golden? But in the middle, the brownish yellow patch,
Yeah.
those are all just capped over larvae.
Wow. Yeah, that lightish brown, light brownish looking stuff.
Yeah, I could stand over here and be a little bit safer since I don't go on this side of the fence.
You try it. There's no promises, bro. Never on beekeeping, like.
Toby would like to not get stung. Josh also would like to not get stung. Cameron, however,
I'm okay with.
would
not
also
getting
like to not be stung. But he's okay
not
with
as
it.
concerned.
All right, getting nervous again. They're swarming around my headpiece. Yep. We'll be back. All right, we're back checking in. We've got the 4th box on this one. Blue box over here. Blue box doesn't have anything yet, right, Cameron?
The blue box?
It's empty right now?
Yeah, it's
Yep. We'll add frames to that. Cameron says this one is also very full. Very full. Full hives equal future honey and great pollination for the farm and the neighbors. Yeah, let's see if I can capture some of these little bees. Some of these bees walking around with these pollen sacs. No, I don't see any right now.
probably just looking at the guard bees up there right now.
Guard bees. These are the guard bees. So we've just added a new frame
Super.
filled super. Okay. Nice. And then we're gonna fill up this blue one.
We did.
We're gonna fill up this blue one is filled up. Okay.
Yeah.
It has frames in it,
All empty frames.
empty frames. Okay, so we're not gonna add a 4th box to this one today.
It might be overkill.
Okay.
But October.
Be a blessing. Cameron here is a blessing. Be a blessing. I was just asking Cameron here about the hives, whether or not we were going to add a 4th. And then he said these fourth ones here will actually come off. They'll come off for the winter. And why is that?
You'll harvest the honey that comes out of it.
Awesome.
They don't need to heat that much area during the winter. I mean,
Huh.
the bigger the hive, the more bees it takes, and the more fuel it takes for them to keep it warm. So we'll bring it down to the 3. It's plenty of food for them for the winter.
And if there's honey in the fourth one at all, then that's fall time honey for us.
Yes. What we don't
That's
give
awesome.
to this one. So
Well, we don't give you
since
this one.
we just filled this, right? I don't know that they'll get this one filled before the end of the
So we might take some of the honey from
we'll
over
take
there.
their honey, give it to these guys,
Uh-huh.
and any left over from there, then you'll have some honey for the winter.
And so we give them honey by cleaning all the bees off and just setting it in there?
Yep.
So what we're doing here is bee neighboring. We're being a good neighbor by giving them food through the winter so that we all benefit in the spring. Be a good neighbor.
You might have to check into some trademark there.
I didn't say like a good neighbor.
Oh, okay.
I said be a good
Be a good
neighbor. Nobody can trademark that. Well, if you said be a good neighbor, maybe.
Probably if we threw the jingle behind it. I hope the video got that.
So now, after it's all said and done, it is currently October, and now we have a hive of 4 boxes, and then we have a hive of 4 boxes, and then we have a hive with 3 boxes. These bees are doing great, and we're so thankful, we're so grateful, and we're so excited because we prayed for bees, God brought the bees, and He gave us abundantly more bees than we even know what to do with. So because they're doing so well, we hopefully will get to harvest a few frames of honey before winter. We'll check back with you next month to see if that's a possibility, and if it is, that is fantastic because you'll get to see us harvest some raw honey from our farm. Can't wait to see what happens next.